Hello and welcome to Matt's Computer Hardware Podcast, and today we're going to talk about some of my horror stories repairing computers. I just picked this topic because it's something that, I love talking about. But when I was younger, I used to do a lot of remote support. And I was about 15 at the time, and I didn't have a cell phone, and I used Craigslist. And what was really cool about Craigslist is I could post everywhere. I posted in Pennsylvania, I posted in just so many different states, and I've been on so many different calls. It was just really goofy experience. But this guy called me, and he was about 70-ish years old. He was from PA. And he's saying, oh, I've got some issues with my internet browser. I've got some issues with my printer. Can you help me out? And I'm like, sure. So I give him all the instructions, and I connect in through TeamViewer while we're on the phone. And the first red flag was on the desktop. So I connect to his Windows XP machine, and I see to the right, I see Yahoo Chat. And when you see Yahoo Chat, that's a major fucking problem. Like, you gotta have a problem to be using Yahoo Chat. Like, there's no legitimate reason for you to even be, like, thinking about using it. And so I see on the side of Yahoo Chat, I see all these usernames, and one of them sticked out to me. It said something about panties. I don't know if it was Panty Boy or Panty Girl or whoever it might be. It was just really creepy, and it sort of stuck out to me. But I forgot about it. And so we opened up the internet browser to go ahead and check out his internet browsing issue. And I see at the bottom of the internet browser, you see like those mostly frequented pages and like your searches and stuff. And I see gay young blokes, which I was like, I don't really know what that means. And I don't know if I Googled it at that point or I Googled it later, but I Googled it at one point and I saw that it was gay young men. So that was the translation from that. So that kind of creeped me out a little bit more. So I'm fixing some of his problems and, we're just keep going and going and going. And I get into his documents and I see one photo. And this is Windows XP. There's no thumbnails on the photos. So I couldn't just, make a guess what it was. And I really, really wanted to know what this one fucking photo was. If he's got one photo in his documents, this photo better be fucking good. So what I did was I opened up a file transfer on my side, because he wouldn't notice. If I'm dragging shit and I'm opening stuff on his machine, he'll see it. But if I open up a file browser window on my side and I transfer over that photo, I can open it up on my computer without him knowing. Sorry, take a sip of iced coffee. Totally ruined the climax. But I opened the photo, and it was this dude. It was this dude in this trailer park. Like, not in a trailer park. It seemed like he was in a trailer. He was in some kind of dim-lit environment. And he had these fucking panties on, and they were the bushiest pubes I've ever seen in my entire life. So I'm not sure what he's into. I'm not sure if he's into gay men or if he's into dudes wearing panties. I'm not entirely sure. But you gotta think, like, how do you get that fucked up? Like, you're 70 years old, and from somewhere I heard, I think I remember he said he was a teacher or something. But that's just fucking creepy. But the thing is, I didn't see any child porn. I didn't see anything incriminating. So it was like, dude with panties, AOL chat, gay young blokes. I mean, he wasn't searching for, like, 15-year-old naked boys or anything creepy like that. So I just sort of disregarded that, fixed his issues, and went on my way. Another story was this guy who dropped off this machine. So it was a few years later. It was about a year ago. Oh, God. Okay. It tastes like hummus and fucking hot dogs. And all right. Anyway, no wonder why my breath smells bad. So anyway, this guy gives me a call. And I pick up the phone call, and he's like, hey, I'm having some issues with my computer. It won't boot up. It says things are corrupt. And I explained to him, it might be the hard drive, but, I could try my best to try to fix it. If it is the hard drive, then, just pay me $20 plus the cost of the hard drive. So he's like, oh, let me borrow some money from my brother. And that's where I made the stupid decision. I said, hey, I'll do it for free, as long as you write me a really good review. So he drops off this machine. It's dark. It's late at night. We're in the parking lot of this little office building. I rented out a little tiny office for about a year, and it was a goofy experience. But we're in the parking lot of that office space at like 7 o'clock at night, and he hands me this computer with a keyboard on top of it. And he says, hey, the keyboard doesn't work for the laptop. Just use that keyboard I gave you. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I smelled something a little bit off, but I wasn't sure what it was at that point. And I just ignored it. I brushed it off. I brought it inside, set it on the ground, and I was just working on some things on my computer. Forgot about it for a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, I got 15 minutes to burn. Let's see if I can get anywhere. So I open up that laptop, and boy, oh fucking boy, that stench that came off of that laptop was like the worst stench I've ever smelled in my entire life. And then inside all of the keys were like little like sorry, I just blew out the mic. I'm just imagining it right now because it's so fucking gross. But inside those keys were just this like it was like somebody. Sorry, I just have a really good imagination and remembering things sometimes, and it burns me sometimes. But inside those keys were these crumbs, and they were like sticky, and it just smelled like fucking dirty armpits and BO, and just it looked like he chewed a bunch of crackers and spit them all over the keyboard and just mushed it into the keyboard. And it was so fucking disgusting. Words do not describe how fucking disgusting that was. And now I'm stuck with this machine. I'm in this room with this fucking stinky-ass computer. And it's like, what do I do? Do I just throw it in the garbage? That wouldn't be cool. You know, like, what can I do? And what really sucks is this guy didn't have money. If he had money, I could have went outside in a fucking hazmat suit, blowed everything off, cleaned everything off, charged him $150 to clean it. That sounds shitty of me, but I totally would have did that. But I know this guy doesn't have money, and how the hell is he going to get $150? So basically what I did was I called him, and I said something along the lines of, I'm just going to say it in informal form. I just said, like, this is really fucking gross. You need to clean this out. So what I ended up doing is I went to Walmart and I bought all of his cleaning supplies, and I gave him the computer in a trash bag with all his cleaning supplies, and I'm like, clean all of this shit out. Like, just do me a fucking favor. Do me a solid. Not even for like me, just for you. Just clean it out. Nothing really happened after that, but that was just super fucking gross. What makes me think, though, is like, what is the line between this is clean and then this is dirty? Like, at what point in his life did he define that as clean? And I remember talking to him on the phone now, and I remember him mentioning something about how that happened. I forget exactly, but it was some bullshit excuse on why that computer was like that. And now you gotta think about it, like, what's his house like? If his computer is that bad, what's his house like? Because computers sort of represent your environment as well, because your computer's always at your house. You know, it's always running, it's always inhaling air, and it's always exhaling air. So there's a lot of fragments and particles and shit in your computer. So like for example, like I remember some lady dropped off a computer one day when I was younger, and I went under my desk to plug it in with the power cable as a desktop, and I powered it on, and that exhaust fan blew out the same exact smell of her house. And it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't fucking good at all. It's gross. But it's just a hygiene problem. It's a big fucking hygiene problem with people and their computers. I remember one guy, I picked up this guy's computer from my school, and it was like a Toshiba laptop, and I picked it up, and their house was a little bit dirty. It was a little bit gross in there. I opened the Toshiba laptop, and I see a bug go across the screen, like a little tiny bug. It didn't look like anything, like a tick or anything, but it looked pretty fucking gross. And then there was chocolate in the caps lock key. It's like, why? What the fuck is wrong with you? Clean your shit. Like, sometimes my stuff gets dirty. Sometimes I eat over my stuff. But boy, oh boy, it's not fucking that gross. Oh, man. Alright, well, anything else to talk about today? I'm trying to think really quick before I fucking leave you. I don't know who I'm even leaving. It doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna watch this shit anyway. Like, really, that's the way that I think about it. Like, I think the people who go into the mindset of, like, I'm gonna live stream and I'm gonna get millions of views and I'm gonna be really fucking popular. And, you know, like, the people who think that way, they're not gonna get anywhere. Because it's like, they're gonna be really, really disappointed. And it's also, like, having to do with, like, search terms and SEO and all that stuff. Like, if I name this, like, Vlog 1, like, who the fuck's gonna watch this? I don't know. Speaking of vloggers, I'm like scared as shit to talk to myself. Like right now I'm talking to myself, but it's one of the things I'm scared of. I'm scared that people can hear me. Every time when I've done a voiceover for my videos or anything like that, I do it inside of a car. I do it at 3 a.m. I do it in a fucking empty parking lot. Because it makes me feel better about everything. And it lets me know that nobody can hear me. it's sort of a weird perspective to think about. But when I'm in front of a camera and I'm with my friends, when I'm with my friends, it's a little bit different. I feel more comfortable. But yeah. Anything else I gotta think about here? Computers, stories, stories. I don't know. I don't care. So, all right. Well, if you want to sponsor the show, just send me $5 on Snapcash, and I'll say anything you want. Thanks.